Tinha alguma coisa na marca Playboy que despertava mais admiração.
Ser coelhinha é um ingresso pro alto escalão.
Nós éramos como estrelas de rock.
Quando a gente posa nua, algumas pessoas se sentem até meio donas de você.
Um fã louco mata o marido da sua amiga.
Ninguém que ama uma pessoa faz uma coisa dessas. Ela foi totalmente espancada.
Nada pode te preparar para isso.
Playboy, Fama e Morte, no ID e no Discovery Plus.
Yeah, when I was approached about this documentary, I was really excited to be a part of telling these stories because so many of the stories I hadn't even heard of. And I thought this is just the type of show I would love to watch as a viewer. So it was pretty heavy just because you're getting into obviously these life and death stories, and we really want to do a great job telling it from an empathetic standpoint toward the victims and share more about who the victims were as people. And I always kind of tried to put myself in the shoes of, you know, if this had happened to me, how would I want the story to be told? So I feel like we did a good job of that. And it was definitely heavy. And there's definitely, you know, moments that would creep up on me that felt, you know, really sad because you feel empathy for these people for sure. But I'm happy we're getting the stories out there because hopefully, you know, we can learn something from them, and hopefully people can walk away with more empathy toward the victims and just realizing that this kind of thing could happen to anybody. Yeah, I think right now we're really lucky to be living in a time where people are starting to listen to everyone's story because everyone has access to social media now. You can hear all the sides to the different stories, and people are so much more open to hearing women's stories now and hearing, you know, more about the victims and what happened to them. So I think it's really a good time for this to be out. And people, you know, true crime content is so popular. And I think, you know, we're getting into a lot of stories that people haven't really heard that much about. Like I was surprised I hadn't even heard about the details of some of these stories. So it was really compelling to me for sure.
I'm here to last, so yeah, I'm here to stay. I'll live each second like my final day. You can't.
You know, one of the shocking things I learned is in the episode about Stacey Arthur, I was surprised to learn that in the 90s, Playboy had the Playmates talking to fans over a 1-900 number, which ended up, you know, with deadly consequences for her. And that was surprising to me. That was something I never knew existed when I was at Playboy. And it seems off brand for the Playmates to me. So that was really surprising. Yeah, I mean, it would obviously be really different. I'd probably be doing something in a completely different field. Like the other thing I was thinking about doing when I was younger is I really wanted to work for Disney, like in a creative capacity. Like that would be, so I can picture myself in like a little house in Anaheim with a family, but that wasn't my path. I think my path in this life was, you know, when I was a kid, I was really enamored with the possibility of like becoming famous or like being kind of a pinup model or something like that. And then you go into it and you realize there's a dark side, and then sharing that story, you know, that's been my path in this lifetime, but it's been rewarding in its own way. So.
Wow.